Welcome to Facts in 5, a presentation of the Frutkin Law Firm. We provide our clients with legal services in the areas of business law, asset and estate planning, bankruptcy, and litigation. The Frutkin Law Firm has office locations in Phoenix and North Scottsdale. You can visit us on the web at www.frutkinlaw.com.
Hi, I'm Adam Buck, and this is John Frutkin at the Frutkin Law Firm. We're going to talk today about raising money for your business. This is a challenge that businesses face, and there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And John Frutkin has quite a bit of experience. John, what have you seen that works or doesn't work, or the temptations that owners have?
Well, I'll tell you to start with what everybody does, and then I'll tell you probably what they should think about. What everybody does is they run up their credit cards. It's how people start a business, especially here in Arizona. They put it on their credit card. And people will often think, you know, my business will cost me $5,000 to start up and it costs $30,000. And so we see a lot of people come in here with high interest rates and large credit card debt because the business didn't generate as much money as they wanted off the bat. So that's what people do.
They max out the credit cards, and then they look for something else, and they say, I need some more money. What do they do next?
Well, I'll tell you what they're supposed to do, and I'll tell you what they should do when they run up their credit cards. When you run up your credit cards, you should call us. But as far as what you do when you have a situation where you're starting a business, you should ask friends and family. It's been done for hundreds of years. Go to your friends and your family, say, I'm starting up a business. I'd like you to let me borrow some money to start up the business. That's how you start. The fact of the matter is that that option, or doing something like an SBA loan, where you go to the bank and you have a long-term plan in place, will help you out so much more than running up the credit cards. Businesses do work out when they run up the credit cards, don't get me wrong, but when they don't kind of start generating money quickly, the interest rate just kills you. You know, and if you have a long-term plan in place, that's better.
You know, and I've seen situations where people go for hard money and seek kind of non-traditional sources.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, and so when you're talking about hard money, you're talking about people who will say, I'll put up some real estate or something else, and if you give me a loan at 14 or 20% interest or whatever it is.
Right.
And that is a lot of, quite frankly, what happened to the real estate market here. The interest rates were really high. It's not the best thing to do. It feels like it's easier, but the problem is that you have people who are incredibly financially motivated to make sure that you pay them back, and that's a bad situation to be in. So, besides the debt options, you can also raise money by selling parts of the business. That gets a little bit more complicated. You know, an area that I've written about and talked about is crowdfunding, where you go online to raise money. Another spot where people have historically raised money is through private placements, where you go to well-off people who might like to invest in business and sell a piece of the business for an investment. And that's the model in which a lot of the companies here in Arizona have grown through this network of people we call angels. Although they expect a return, they're usually people who've made a lot of money on businesses themselves and are interested in participating, not just as an investor, but maybe as an advisor or board member.
So what should you look at? I mean, there's lots of different options. I imagine it depends on the size of your business, how young you are, how old you are, how experienced, what your plans are for the money. You should probably have a definite plan on what you're going to do with that money. But any other ideas to?
Yeah, I mean, as far as you know, as far as ideas, there are also other creative ways to raise money. And the other spot, though, that I think is both creative and possible in a lot of cases is teaming up with a bigger company who might be interested in having part of your success. And those sort of joint venture arrangements often work out for the entrepreneur because they get the backing of a big company with the ability to grow as a small company.
So raising money and having money to operate your business is important. If you've got questions, we've got other topics, we've got other segments that we're going to do, and we'd appreciate it if you'd send us a topic at info@frutkinlaw.com, and we'll address it in a future segment. Thanks.
Facts in 5 was brought to you by the Frutkin Law Firm. Facts in 5 is a series of short, general, informational presentations for the public. This is not legal advice. You should contact an attorney with specific questions regarding your particular situation. For more information, visit us on the web at www.frutkinlaw.com. frutkin law.com.